Hello Chelsea fans, it's Chels Daft here and this is 5 minutes on Jorginho, a bonus video. And the reason I'm talking about Jorginho is because I believe his time at Chelsea is over based on what we've seen since the football's return from the coronavirus pandemic and the postponement. I'm going to give you the reasons why I think that's the case. I'm also going to give you the main reason why I think that's the case as well. And there's plenty to discuss. Make sure you stay tuned. Check out the video. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. And also subscribe to the channel. Let's get cracking. So to Jorginho, somebody that has caused debate up and down the country amongst Chelsea fans. In fact, worldwide amongst Chelsea fans ever since he arrived at the beginning of last season with SARRI. There's been that debate between Jorginho and Conte and their positions on the pitch, and as we saw throughout the course of last season, Jorginho played as the pivot. Now, let's go back to the beginning. So when he first signed, it was clear he was someone that was like the cog, the orchestrator, the conductor for SARRI, and in Serie A, let's be honest, no disrespect to Italian football, but he was given the time to play. He wasn't shut down. He didn't have to deal with the physicality, the pace and the power of the Premier League. And he was able to pick his passes, to collect the ball in space and orchestrate. He was allowed to dictate and shone for Napoli without any question of a doubt. So when SARRI came to Chelsea and he signed Jorginho, it was pretty clear he was going to do the same thing. Jorginho to orchestrate in the middle of our midfield and begin attacks and command possession of the ball. And let's be honest, looking back at last season, the first 10 or so games, it worked. Teams couldn't quite work us out. We had N'Golo Conte playing box to box. Mateo Kovacic was there. They couldn't quite work Chelsea out. And it was going well. But that all changed when teams began to work out, if you stop Jorginho, you stop Chelsea. Jorginho was now being pressed. He was now being virtually man-marked. He had no time to settle on the ball when he received it from defenders. He was harried. He was then forced into playing more defensively at times. And as we know, last season he wasn't the best at all. And people talk about the fact that last season we conceded so many goals, we dropped so many points, and let's be honest, because the other teams around us were useless, we managed to nick a top 4 place. Let's be honest, we have to say that. We're not going to begrudge it, of course we won't. There was a real problem. We didn't have any cover or protection in front of our back 4, and we were leaking goals. Think Tottenham at Wembley away when he was skinned by Son, looked as though he was standing still with how Son went past him with ease. Now, this is not a video to sit and to criticise and to bash Jorginho. I'm just stating facts here. That's important to point out. And because of what was happening, it caused debate up and down the country. Chelsea fans were split. Some were in favour of Jorginho playing that way and N'Golo Conte becoming the box-to-box midfielder with his high energy. But some preferred the defensive stability of N'Golo Conte playing in front of the back 4. That raised throughout the whole of last season. Chelsea won the Europa League. We got to the League Cup final. So SARRI goes to Juve. And everybody then expects Jorginho to follow him. Jorginho comes out and says that he is his own man. He's not a SARRI clone. He's not a SARRI player. He doesn't follow him wherever he goes. He's his own man. And he wants to be recognised this season for being that player, an individual. And to his credit, you have to hold your hands up and say that Jorginho had come on leaps and bounds defensively. Beginning of the season, he was making tackles. He was much more defensively aware, and it showed. He improved almost 100% from where he was last year. Again, there was still the problem that we were still conceding goals. And right up until the situation with the pandemic and football being postponed, it was still a problem, and the debate still rumbled on. Now, it was a surprise for all of us that Frank Lampard decided to deploy Jorginho in front of the back 4 and Conte where SARRI had played him. That was a surprise for all of us. I guess Frank's looking for legs in the middle of midfield, because I always thought that even under SARRI, just swap Conte and Jorginho about. Conte in front of the back 4 to protect, and Jorginho given the freedom to play his passes without the defensive responsibility that's placed on him in front of the back 4. Frank decided to do the same thing, which was a surprise, as I said. And right up until the pandemic, that seemed to be the case. However, at times, Chelsea did play with people next to Jorginho this year, which helped him. So the reason I'm saying now is that I think Jorginho's career at Chelsea is over is because of two things. First and foremost, in the pandemic break and the postponement of football, all we kept hearing was Jorginho's agent talking up a move to Juve, talking about the fact it would be an honour to go and play for one of European football's big clubs, despite the fact he's at one of them already, at Chelsea. Talking up the fact that Italian football suits Jorginho, Maurizio Sarri again, and the link between the two. And it seemed to be constant for around a month, 5-6 weeks or so. We then were told that Juve had made inquiries, had made a bid, had offered players in exchange to Chelsea that had been rejected, but Juve's bid and Juve's interest was solid. We then heard from Jorginho's agent to say he's heard from nobody, and Jorginho's now got a contract at Chelsea, and for the time being he's going to see that contract out. In all this speculation over that 6-week period or so, we never heard anything officially from Jorginho coming out and stating his desire to stay at Chelsea or to leave. So what's happened as a result? And let's look at the 3 games back since the Premier League restarted. Now, the first game is a bye. Jorginho was suspended, so had to miss the game anyway. So against Aston Villa, that's no surprise. Now, also, there's things to consider here. You can now name 9 substitutes between now and the end of the season, and you can make 5 substitutions in game, but they have to be done in 3 substitution breaks. So you can do 5 at once, 2 and 1, or 3 1 and 1. Man City at home. Chelsea looking for top 4. Arguably the biggest game of our season. Jorginho was left on the bench for 90 minutes. Chelsea made 4 substitutions that day, and they started the midfield with N'Golo Kanté in front of the back 4, as he had done against Aston Villa, and Kanté was everywhere. He was back playing in the position where he quite simply is the best in the world at doing so. He played there against Villa, he started there against Man City with Ross Barkley and Mason Mount playing next to him. But when changes were made, Mateo Kovacic came on and Billy Gilmour came on. Jorginho was left on the bench. But arguably the most important and biggest game of our season, knowing that the opposition had already won and were only 2 points behind us. Now move forward to last weekend and Leicester in the FA Cup, and it's the only realistic possibility we've got of silverware this season in Frank's first full season as a manager at Chelsea. So that's also just as important to Frank Lampard, because he obviously talks of the first trophy being key, and it then gives the players confidence as a collective and a group in the project, what they're doing, what they're working for going forward. Jorginho didn't start the game against Leicester. 9 subs again. Didn't start the game. He didn't come on again. He was left on the bench. So arguably our 2 biggest games of the season so far, with the importance on them being top 4 and silverware, Jorginho's been left on the bench. N'Golo Kanté to come back in to his favoured position, to where he's the best in the world, and has been dominant. It's been absolutely brilliant. And think of the goals we've conceded. We've conceded 2, 3 games. The first was a cross into the box, which wasn't defended properly and put in the back of the net. Not Conte's fault. And the second was a set piece, a Kevin De Bruyne free kick. No one's played through our midfield, gone through the middle of our pitch, through to the defenders and created any goals. Kanté is busy. Kanté is the world's best, and I believe Kanté is there to stay. Frank Lampard will do well to convince him that that's his position from now on in our Chelsea team. And as a result, Jorginho has got nowhere to go. As far as Chelsea's midfield is concerned, Ross Barkley's playing well and scoring goals as he was before the pandemic. Mateo Kovacic is outstanding, world class and player of the season. Ruben Loftus-Cheek is back. Mason Mount's playing well. Billy Gilmour's coming. Despite Leicester and his wobble, he's been playing okay. Jorginho's gone. I'm telling you, Jorginho's left the club. I think the agent has got his way, and I think Jorginho will leave in the summer. What do you guys think to this video? What do you guys think to the arguments I've given? What do you guys think to these 3 games back and the fact that although he's on the bench, he's not been brought in? Let me know in the comments section below. If you like the video, smash the like button for me, then subscribe to the channel, and make sure you hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss when my videos come out, which is every day the daily news update, the 5-minute news, but also videos such as this, where I talk to you one-on-one and just get things off my chest. Hopefully you've enjoyed it, hopefully it's made sense and maybe made you think about certain things with Jorginho. Post your comments in the comments section. Thanks for watching, like, subscribe. See you later.